Yo, what's good, reader fam? Welcome back to my channel. We're back with a reading vlog, and today's reading vlog is sponsored by Penguin Teen. In today's reading vlog, I'm going to be reading the dictionary from front to back to front. Except not. In this reading vlog, I'm going to be reading The Fountains of Silence by RUTA. It has been a minute since I have done a normal reading vlog, and I honestly think I stopped doing them because I kind of burnt myself out on doing so many. So I've decided that I'm just going to do them every now and then when I feel like doing them. The thing about reading vlogs for me is that ya boy is boring. And who wants to watch my boring life? Not me. I already gotta live this boring life. But I have some interesting things happening this week, so I thought, why not document it? Anyway, I'm gonna be reading The Fountains of Silence. If you don't know anything about this book is a historical fiction book. It takes place in Spain in 1957, which is during the dictatorship of Francisco Franco. We follow quite a few perspectives in this book, but I'm only really aware of two perspectives, and I think those two perspectives are like the main dog of the story, like the Percy and Annabeth of the book, the Clary and Jace, if you will, I've run out of fictional duos, but I'm sure there's so many more. Why am I blanking so hardcore right now? Anyway, they're the main dogs, the main storylines that we'll be following. One of them is Daniel. Him and his family are visiting Spain. His parents have some like businessy things to do because he kind of wants to discover his mother's roots as she was born in Spain, and he's really big on photography, so he's kind of taking it as this opportunity to photograph his big adventure. Then we follow Anna, I'm not sure how you say it. It's A-N-A, so I'm gonna say Anna. She was born and raised in Spain, and she is working as a maid in the hotel that Daniel and his family are staying at. In fact, she has been assigned to Daniel's family, so she's basically got to be there for every move they make. Daniel keeps pushing to get to know her, but you can kind of tell that Anna kind of has her guard up a little bit, and I think there's a reason for that. Like, I think she's got some secrets up her sleeves maybe, but she's not quite ready to roll up her sleeves and reveal her secrets. Daniel ends up in some kind of tough situation involving photography, like his photos get him into some trouble, and because of that, he must figure out a way to protect the ones he loves. I'm a little bit intimidated by this book because of how big it is, but that's why I'm basically just like diving into it. Like, I'm just gonna thrust myself at this book. I just got this book, and normally I would just let this book sit on my shelf for a little while, and I'd probably put off reading it for a while, but I have decided that no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna dive right into it, because if I don't pick it up now, when will I pick it up? Who knows? I mean, I'd have to pick it up this month because this is the Booksplosion book of the month, which, by the way, this is the Booksplosion book of the month for the month of October. Booksplosion is an online book club that I run with Catty-tastic and Poland Bananas Books, so if you want to join us, our live show is on November 2nd at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on the Booksplosion channel. Aha! We love self-promo on this channel. So yeah, I was gonna have to read this book regardless this month, but I just didn't want to put it off to the last minute, so I'm picking it up and reading it this week. I feel like this book for sure is gonna have a lot of interesting discussion points, so I'm excited to talk about it with you guys who join us and the Booksplosion crew. So those are my reading plans for the week. Right now, I think I'm going to take a Bookstagram, but I'm not gonna take no basic Bookstagram, or at least I'm gonna try not to take a basic Bookstagram. I kind of want to do one of my weird Bookstagram pictures, so I'm gonna walk you guys through my process of making a basic Bookstagram an extra Bookstagram. I was inspired to do this picture by the fact there were so many new releases out recently that I was just feeling super overwhelmed, and when there's lots of new releases coming out, I get distracted with what I'm currently reading and I want to focus on the new shiny things. So I kind of came up with this photo concept and I'm gonna try to execute it. These are the books that I'm gonna be using. I'm gonna be using Imaginary Friend, Cursed, which is our Booksplosion book of the month for the month of November, then The Beautiful by Renee Audier, and then The Fountains of Silence, which again is our Booksplosion book of the month for the month of October. Join us! The first step is to take some pictures in front of my bookshelf. I normally like to use natural lighting for my pictures, but on this day it was super gray outside, so I decided that I would just use my lighting. I used just my little Canon G7X for this photo because I needed to be able to see myself, and this one has a nice viewfinder on it. My concept for this photo is that I'm gonna have all these new releases kind of floating over my head, and I'm gonna be looking up as I'm reading a book as if I'm distracted by all these new releases. So I needed to make sure that I had enough room over my head and that you could see a lot of my bookshelf. So I sat in front of my bookshelf and took a few photos using my self-timer, which is always a struggle because I have to use my hand to focus. After that, I took photos of the books separately in front of the bookshelf, and I just kind of tried to position them in a way where it looks like they're floating. I'm gonna have to do a lot of work in Photoshop because my arm is completely in the shot. So after I did that, I put it into Photoshop, and this is really where the magic comes in because I completely take out my arm to make it look like the books are floating. I wasn't sure if this was actually gonna turn out that great, so I didn't really have the highest of hopes, but I tried my best, okay? I am by no means a Photoshop expert. In fact, I'm using a very, very old version version of Photoshop, but honestly, it still works, so I'm not even mad about it. So after chopping my arms off of the photo, then I transferred copied it over onto my phone and I used VSCO. I ended up cropping this one quite a bit and throwing one of my favorite filters on it. I tend to like the E filters on VSCO. I will say that I'm not very consistent when it comes to filters, which is why I do not maintain a very strong Insta aesthetic, but what can you do? I don't know how people do that anyways. Like, y'all are wizards. Those of you who maintain Instagram aesthetics are wizards. This is the end result. I'm honestly pretty happy with it. It's not my best work, I wouldn't say, but I really like how it came out, and it's not basic. It's not a basic Bookstagram, so I'ma post it. So that's how I go from basic to extra real quick with my Bookstagram. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it in the end. Is it worth it in the end? Yes, it is. I think. Maybe. Maybe not. Ugh. I am falling for this book. I sometimes go into historical fiction books a little intimidated, but I forget how easy it is to fall into a RUTA Sepetys book. It's just like greeting an old friend that you haven't seen in a while. This book specifically has a few things that I love when it comes to books, specifically in the formatting. It has super short chapters, so it's just making me feel like I'm the fastest reader on the planet, even though I am far from that. And while it does look like a massive book, it has quite a few breaks in the story. Like, there's quite a few blank pages or pages with just little designs on them. And there's also these pages that just have these little excerpts from different books or different people. So needless to say, I'm kind of soaring through this book. There are quite a few perspectives. There's around like 4 or 5, I think. I think mostly just 4. It's not overwhelming at all though. She's kind of able to maintain this very like seamless flow between the characters. And we definitely have like our main perspectives of the story. Like Anna and Daniel are definitely like the main characters. I can also kind of tell that it's going to be one of those situations where the stories kind of like weave together. I haven't really been able to predict anything that's gonna happen or where it's going. I'm still kind of connecting the dots together, but right now things are still pretty foggy with this book, so I have no idea where it's going. I'm getting ready to leave the house because I'm going to a concert tonight with my friend Maureen. We are going to Kansas City, which is about a 2.5 hour drive from here. So, gonna set the book aside for a little bit and do some humaning. Yeah! So, Maureen and I are here, and we have been driving to Kansas City. We're going to see Sigrid tonight, this artist who we both love. She doesn't come to the States often, so we're super excited. Then I'm just like curious, so I'm like, I'm gonna like look up who the opener is and just see on Google or whatever. I keep seeing all these articles that are like October 7th, Sigrid, Kansas City, Missouri. And I'm like, what does that mean? Then I asked Maureen, I'm like, so these are saying October 7th and not tonight. So we looked at the tickets and turns out concert was Monday, October 7th, and we missed it.
I'm so mad.
I'm mad too! I wanted to see Sigrid.
I cannot believe us.
I can't believe us either. We bought these tickets back in March, so it's been a while.
It's been a hot second.
So maybe we just forgot, but it's just the fact that we both thought it was today. We both were like set on it being today. I can't with us. So, change of plans. We just realized that Sasha Alsberg has an event in Kansas City, so we're just gonna make it a thing. We're gonna go to dinner with our friend Christina, then we're gonna go to see Sasha at her book event. It's all about going with the flow, friendship, great times.
I never felt tomorrow closing in this fast. Oh, I guess time's in a rush. Leaves are falling down, but at least they grow back. While I'm on a one-way track. Now I know what it means to grow.
We were going to a concert, so can you sing for us?
I know, right? No.
Sing us a song.
Row, row, row your boat
Let's get out of here, Maureen. Let's go.
It is just enough to get by.
Up at Barnes & Noble. Are we surprised? Not at all. Is it a reading vlog if I don't go book shopping? I don't know. Probably not. But yeah, I'm here to buy a book. I want to get the sequel to Carry On, not because I'm gonna read it at any point in the near future, which maybe I will. I don't know if I will really, but there is an exclusive edition that I want to get before it goes out of print, which I know sounds so stupid, but I just want to have it in my collection in case it does end up going out of print, because sometimes the collector's editions go out of print. Also, it's full on downpouring outside. I don't know if you can hear the pitter patter on the windshield, but it is raining outside. I'm happy about it. We love that. So after I go get this sequel that I don't even need, I literally don't even need it. Like, I'm sitting here trying to talk myself out of getting it, but like, I want it, so I should just get it, right? No, that's not usually how things work. Like, just because you want things doesn't mean you should get them. But like, I'm treating myself, okay? After this, I'm gonna go to a cafe, because is it a reading vlog if you don't go to a cafe and get some coffee? No, it's not. I'm just fitting into the typical reading vlog format. Come at me, bro. I don't care. Anyway, after this, I'm going to a cafe. I'm gonna get some work done, and I'm gonna get some reading done. I'm really excited to get back into the book because I am loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. I'm a nightmare. Dressed like a daydream. Okay. We're gonna end it there. Montage time. Let the montage save the day. From my second home, I got the goods. Barnes & Noble ASMR. We got the goods, Wayward Son by Rainbow Rowell. Ooh, this is the night edition, I wanna say. Is that correct? I feel like that's what they're calling this edition. I don't know. I ain't no expert, except I kind of am a book expert, just a little bit. But like, I don't know if it's actually called night version or not. I feel like it should say. It does not say if it's the night version, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that it is. Anyway, it's dark, it's beautiful, it's stunning, it's shining, shimmering, splendid. It's also got fan art on the inside, which I really like about it. Look at that fan art. We stand fan art in this household. Yes, we do. I hope these aren't spoilers. They probably are. Whoa, I didn't even know the undercover was like that. I love that. Yes to that. We stan. I am obnoxious. Question, when you guys go to Barnes & Noble or a bookstore and you're buying a book, do you like inspect the book like crazy? Because that's pretty much what I did when I went there to get this book. Like, I turned into Inspector Gadget and I inspected every copy of Wayward Son that they had just because I wanted to get the best version that they had. I didn't want some kind of book that was super damaged. When I go to buy a book, I want it to be in pristine condition. I want the perfect edition. I want it to be top notch. I don't mind if I myself damage my own books. Like, I don't care if I get so mad at my book and I chuck it against the wall and it's got a huge dent in it. Like, that is fine. But if I get a book and it's damaged and I didn't perform that damage, I am annoyed. I don't want that. No, thank you. But like, several of the copies of Wayward Son that they had like major damage on it. Well, not major, I might be like exaggerating just a little bit, but like, I don't want no bent up corners. I want the nice, no dented corners. Like, if it was the scratch and dent section of the bookstore, then like, yeah, I'd expect that, but I wasn't in that aisle. Anywho, I got this, I'm satisfied, except for the fact that the spine situation kind of annoys me a little bit. They're not that different. They're different enough to notice that there's a difference, and it just kind of bothers me a little bit. And I know that the publisher actually had this really cool deal where you could like order a cover for Carry On that would match the sequel, Wayward Son, but like, I was too lazy and just kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And then I put it off to the point where now it's unavailable to get a matching Carry On cover, and I'm a little sad about it, but like, it's my own fault. Anyway, I'm just gonna have to live with this spine. I mean, it's not that bad. I can just tell that something's off, and that bothers me a little bit. This is a big side note, but my Barnes & Noble has started selling K-pop, which is kind of weird because I don't feel like K-pop is popular in Missouri, at least where I live. Like, I live in a pretty small town. Well, it's kind of a big town, but it's not the biggest in Missouri. It just surprises me that they're selling K-pop because I don't feel like K-pop is super popular here, even though K-pop has kind of gone global. I mean, I wasn't surprised that they had artists like BTS. Like, that doesn't surprise me at all because obviously BTS are taking over, but they had like Red Velvet, which really surprised me because I feel like Red Velvet are kind of underrated. They are one of the more popular groups, but they're still rather underrated. So I don't know. That was a big side note. I just wanted to talk about K-pop. I only have 100 pages left in the Fountains of Silence, and I'm pretty sure that I'm just gonna snuggle up in bed tonight and finish this book because it's raining outside, so it's the perfect atmosphere for reading. I'm gonna have myself a little reading party, I'm gonna get myself some coffee, and I'm gonna devour the rest of this book. I'm really loving how this book is developing. There's just so many interesting things being covered. Something that I really like that's kind of being covered is that Daniel just doesn't really fit in with his family. Like, his family kind of lives this like really luxurious life. His father's like really big into his company, and he's just like this big businessman, and he kind of has these expectations for what he wants for Daniel's life. Like, he kind of expects Daniel to follow in his footsteps, but Daniel is really passionate about photography and like journalism type stuff, and so he's kind of dealing with this conflict of like his parents putting these expectations on him, but him wanting to pave his own path and become his own person and do his own thing. And that's bringing an interesting element to the story and kind of bringing in some nice conflict. Also, something else that I feel like this book is really kind of thriving on is secrets. There is so much being kept from different characters, and I'm pretty sure that everything is about to blow up, because that's how things usually end up going. When there's lots of secrets involved, there's gonna be an explosion of truth. Can't wait to be blown up with the ending. Hello my dudes, I'm in my car. I'm here to end this vlog. I ended up finishing The Fountains of Silence by RUTA, and it was a full-on 5 out of 5 stars for me, no doubt about it. I loved this book so much. I kind of suspected mid-book that it was heading in that direction, in the 5-star direction, but I wasn't sure. I didn't want to get my hopes up, but here we are. We have landed at the 5-star station. I could probably rave for days as to why RUTA's books are so fantastic and why you should pick up one. I find that I learned so much while reading her books. Like, I knew quite a bit about this kind of time period in Spain, but I felt like I learned so much more in reading this book. Obviously, this is a fictional story, so you do kind of have to factor that in while you're reading it. But you can just tell the amount of work and research that went into this book and how thorough it must have been. There are several video interviews with RUTA from her past books where she kind of goes into detail talking about what it takes to write one of her books, and I'm going to leave a link to those down below because I find those so fascinating, just like learning about her process and learning how she gets to this point where it's developed fully into a book. So I will leave a link to those down below in the description because I find them super fascinating, and I feel like you guys might find them super fascinating as well. With all that being said, I think one of the strongest points of this book was, well, there are two really strong points. One of them is the characters. Those characters were just top-notch, super fleshed out, great characters. But another really strong point is the setting, the overall setting. She just has such a great way of building up the setting so you feel like you are fully immersed in the story. And it's not like over-the-top detailed, it's just enough. It's just great. I really wish that I could find something to critique about this book, because I don't want to be here being like, this book is perfect, because like every book has its flaws, but like I genuinely can't really think of anything. I will say that the pages that had like excerpts on them, like this one, it has like an excerpt from a book. Those little sections for me, I could have done without, but I understand why they were there. I feel like those sections were a good kind of backdrop to the story and kind of helped you understand what the times were like. So I understand their importance, but I probably could have done without them. But honestly, I'm just trying to find something to critique because I don't want to be here just being like, this book is perfect. Anyway, I highly recommend checking out this book. Again, this is the Booksplosion book of the month for the month of October. So if you want to join us, our live show is going to be on November 2nd at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on our Booksplosion channel. But that's it for this reading vlog. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I had a really fun time just like chatting it up with you guys. I feel like most of this vlog was just me chatting it up. But anyway, I want to hear from you guys down below in the comments. How are you doing? What are you currently reading? Have you read a book by RUTA yet? If you haven't, you should. If you like this video, be sure to go and hit that like button. If you want to see more bookish content from me, be sure to go and hit subscribe or go and hit that bell icon, and you'll be notified every time I post new videos. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope your day is bright, that tomorrow is brighter. Keep reading what your heart desires, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye, yo!